Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us here today. My name is Paula Kogan, and I'm the Executive Vice President of Colt's Global Sales, Marketing, and Customer Relationship Management function. And I'm delighted to be joined today by one of Colt's partners, international information technology and consulting company Atos. And together today, we're going to talk to you about the impact that this year has had on digital transformation and the changing digital society that we operate in. I'm joined today by Robert Vassoyen and Mark Smith. Robert is Head of Unified Communications at Atos, and Mark Smith is Chief Marketing Officer at Atos Unify.
Hi, Paula. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Robert is going to talk to you about the digital transformation, workplace, and consumer shifts that Atos has seen. And then Mark will share how contact center as a service is going to play a key role in the modern workplace. So let's start by taking a look at some of the dynamics in the market that are challenging enterprises and you as IT professionals. As we all know, this year is unlike any that we've ever seen. Organizations have had to migrate their office workers to remote locations and to their homes while continuing to operate and deliver a good customer experience. And this transformation is having a significant impact on volumes of data and also to where that data is going. We've also seen an acceleration in the decision to move from on-prem to cloud-based solutions. According to McKinsey, these changes would typically take years and yet were completed in many industries within months and even days. And at Colt, we also saw this magnitude of change in digital transformation projects, delivering connectivity for customers within days versus some projects which would typically take us months. The changes that we are all seeing are also likely to become permanent. Remote working, increasing cloud-based applications, the increase in customer demand for online purchasing, and changes in customer needs and expectations are all likely to stay once the pandemic is over. Priorities have moved with a lot of emphasis on internal and external digital experience, increased efficiency, and cybersecurity. Digitalization of customer interactions has also shifted. During the pandemic, consumers moved dramatically towards online channels, and companies and industries have responded by assessing and digitally enhancing their offerings and the experience that they provide. Earlier this year at Colt, we conducted our own cloud research, which showed us how increased migration to the cloud is already underway. And almost half of those that we surveyed had 50 to 70% of their critical processes in the cloud, demonstrating a growth in confidence in cloud adoption. The shift to the cloud is happening at a faster rate than anticipated, and this is largely due to an increased demand for cloud-based applications, as well as cloud telephony, a larger requirement for data security, and a need for operational agility and greater efficiency. And this allows companies to provide a better experience to their customers. Look at where you can utilize the cloud in your business, whether it's adopting as a service setups, cloud-based conferencing systems, or cloud telephony. This acceleration in digital transformation is having a massive impact on the ecosystem that we work in. Today's network is built to deliver applications and services that didn't exist 10 or 15 years ago. And it's designed for companies that in some cases may only be a few years old and who are delivering products and services on devices that are changing the way that we live and work. And this is not going to stop. So providing connectivity is no longer enough. Our customers at Colt want us to work closely with their partners and suppliers, including system integrators, data center and cloud service providers, as well as new tech market entrants. And some of these new entrants are completely changing the game. Instead of being reactive in our approach to transformation, we need to be proactive. And as the current global situation has shown, we can be forced to innovate at any time, but those who are already thinking and planning digital transformation will be better off than those who have not. Throughout this time, you may have embarked on a digital transformation journey, but now is perhaps the time to pause and take stock of what worked and what didn't, and where innovation can be made. We are focused on three areas that we are seeing as having increased priority across industry to improve and drive a better customer experience. Firstly, focus on the cloud. Think about how you can utilize the cloud across your technology stack and where you can use the cloud to scale, flex, and accelerate. Keep things secure. There's been an increased rate of cyber attacks throughout the pandemic. Ask yourself the question, is the infrastructure that you have in place robust enough to withstand that? Next, innovation. Think about where you can innovate and bring change across your organization, and how can your digital transformation strategy enable that? And with changing consumer trends, where can you innovate to accommodate these shifts? Digital done properly ensures that the customer is fully connected through all channels and has a seamless experience across multiple touch points. With that, it gives me great pleasure to hand over to Robert Vassayan from Atos, who will pick up the conversation from here.
Thanks, Paula. So looking at the way we accompany our customers in terms of their own digital transformation, it's fundamentally around these four pillars that you see on the screen. I'm going to run through very quickly, starting at the right, actually, because it all starts with trust and compliance. Digital transformation is about building a data-driven business model. So you don't do that, without the utmost security, trust, and compliance. So that's the fundamental pillar. And then, of course, it's about operational excellence. You're doing digital transformation for more efficiency, for more productivity. And then at the end of the day, it's about reinventing your company, reinventing your business model towards being a more outside-in, data-driven and customer-driven journey. So it's all about customer experience, which is the topic, of course, of today. One thing I would like to highlight, this is the fundamental framework on which we work. But what we've seen in the last months and the pandemic, we've seen companies succeed better than others because they were able to adjust faster, to go faster to home working, to adjust faster their supply chain, to change the way they sell and interact more online with their customers. And they've been able to do this because they had the platform, because they had already digitized, and because they had this flexible cloud-based system on which they were building their digital transformation. Another thing that we're seeing is stronger than ever need for security because of everything going online. I talked about it, but it's even more a mandate today. And a new trend, well, actually, it's not a new trend, but it's becoming real. And we're seeing most of our customers concretely asking us to do it, is what we call decarbonization. So that's really, in a nutshell, the framework through which we're taking our customers when it comes to digital transformation. In order to be able to respond to these new accelerations and new accelerated trends that we're seeing in the market in terms of digital transformation, we've decided to undertake a deep transformation of our own organization. Simply putting it simply, moving from a division horizontal-led organization to a industry-led, customer-led organization. So if you think of Atos now moving forward, you really need to think of us as, six entities, six industry-led organizations with these, six major industries that you see on the screen, and each industry owning its destiny in terms of P&L, portfolio, investments, acquisitions, and so on. And that's the fundamental way for us to be as close as possible to what's happening, within our customers in terms of, pain points and challenges. For example, on healthcare, which is the industry that I have the privilege to lead, we're seeing, of course, an acceleration of, anything around remote care and remote, monitoring of health. And, we're building everything around this mandate. And of course, one fundamental change across all industries is the change in the way of working. The world of work has changed. The way we interact internally and externally is new. In the workplace, we're using video, voice, messaging more than ever before on our devices of choice from anywhere. Gone are the days when it was okay to run a siloed on-premise technology only accessible on-site. Workplaces need smooth cloud-based applications to continue to run smoothly. Automating the simple things lets everyone provide real value. That's what we're seeing. Consumers want anywhere, any channel communications, and to be able to change channels at a whim. They want you to know them and help them solve things quickly and easily. They want one-stop shops with little to no touch. Across all channels, the expectation of what is provided is greater than ever. You no longer compare workplaces, you compare workspace technologies. And to add to that as well, what we've seen in the pandemic, or the technologies that we had during the pandemic were good enough because it was crisis mode. What we're seeing is that now that we're entering into this new norm, flexible working, of working from anywhere, which is probably going to last and be completely different to what it was before, the technologies and tools and processes that we used during the pandemic that were good enough for that will probably, won't be good enough for this new norm. We're going to see probably a need for more augmented reality. We're going to see a need for more AI-driven guided collaboration. We're going to see a need for more security, as I was mentioning earlier. We're going to see a need for a more inclusive driven solutions and tools. And these are the things that we're going to keep on working on in terms of our innovation investments moving forward.
Thank you, Robert. And that neatly draws us on to talking about contact centers as a service. And we're pleased today to be able to introduce our new solution from Colt and Atos, Contact Center as a Service. And what that brings is a true omni-channel experience for customers, giving customers the choice and flexibility to choose their channel of interaction with a vendor. But from a vendor's perspective, it gives them more choice. It gives them the ability to serve the contact center from the cloud. So supporting some of that remote work that Robert was talking about, but also supporting the transformation of a traditional contact center, which typically dealt with voice and email, that can now deal with things like WhatsApp messaging and Apple messaging and all kinds of different omni-channel channels. It gives those agents also and those organizations a level of flexibility that they just never had before. In the old days, you could deal with a number of emails and you could deal with telephone calls, but in an omni-channel world, you also want to deflect and deal with some of that contact before it actually gets to you. So that's where AI interactions can be built into processes and customer journeys, take out and to create that efficiency for agents at the lower end, giving them more information up front and giving them better information to be able to manage and deal with customers. From a contact center perspective as well, it also gives you scalability. In this day and age, planning how many agents you need at any one time is a difficult and different proposition than it was just 6 months ago. So it gives you the flexibility and the scalability to scale up users and to scale down users, depending on the demand within your organization, but also not have all of those users in one place at one time. So you may have agents who are working from home and you only want to bring them on for a couple of hours in the morning to deal with the peak. Or indeed, you may have a large contact center where everyone's still working within that contact center and you just need to flex up and down those numbers as and when you need to. Now, together, Colt and Atos are joining their solutions into one solution for this particular offer. And what that means is customers will get the benefit of a connectivity layer from Colt, so providing that interaction point, but also then the cloud contact center as a service solution from Atos. And we truly believe that these two solutions together offer a step change in the kind of customer experience that vendors can provide to the wider world, giving customers the flexibility to talk in their channel of choice, whether it's voice, whether it's video, whether it's SMS or WhatsApp or whatever, but also giving vendors the scalability and flexibility I was just talking about to deal with those customers in the way they want. And another critical element of this is how that deeply integrates and deeply embeds into the wider ecosystem of solutions. So whether it's Oracle Service Cloud or Zendesk or Salesforce, You can embed and interact with all of those different CRM style solutions straight from your contact center solution, giving you one view of the customer, meaning that you don't have to jump in, your agents don't have to jump in and out of all of those solutions at any one time. So it's a great solution that is bringing some real innovation, some real new great customer experiences to customers, but also some step changes in terms of efficiency, flexibility, and of course, cloud effectiveness for those vendors who want to head towards the cloud in their contact center solution.
Thank you, Robert and Mark. We're so excited to be working together to launch Contact Center as a Service. It's an offering that we believe will further assist enterprises to capitalize on the modern workplace. As outlined in the presentation, we know that many organizations have commenced their digital transformation journeys, with some being greatly accelerated due to the current environment that we find ourselves in. Now is the time to reflect, however. Has this rapid transformation seen any critical aspects being missed? Ask yourself, is your business set up for continuous transformation? Is the infrastructure that you have in place flexible, adaptable, and secure? And do you have partnerships that you can rely on in the face of great change? Take the time now to assess, plan, and put projects in place to support you. Look to your connectivity providers and digital transformation specialists for support in doing this. We are better together. Thank you for listening.